Hello and welcome to Englishin. In this video, we are going to talk about not being understood the first time you speak. Now, if you are a non-native speaker of American English, if you learned American English later in life, it's possible that your pronunciation is a little bit different than what we would consider a neutral accent of American English or standard American English. But just because you have an accent, it doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to have difficulty understanding you. If you do produce sounds differently than we expect in American English, it's very possible that you've heard some phrases like this. Huh? Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Or I don't understand. Now, if you hear these phrases over and over and over again, this can be extremely frustrating. It can be really annoying to go through your day and have to constantly repeat yourself. But if you only hear these phrases every once in a while, then don't assume it's because of you. Let me say that a different way. Even native speakers of American English have difficulty being understood sometimes. Maybe not a lot, but definitely some. So if you find that you are not understood in American English every once in a while, and it's about the same as what you would expect in your native language or what you experience in your native language, then you probably don't have a problem with your pronunciation. Beyond that, it's important to note that there are things beyond your pronunciation that may be influencing people's ability to understand you easily. So if people don't understand you easily and you speak with an accent, it does not necessarily mean that your pronunciation is the reason they didn't understand you. It's important to look at other factors as well. For example, your volume. Are you speaking loudly enough that people can hear you easily? Or are you nervous about your accent and how people are going to understand you, so you're holding back and speaking more quietly? By the way, in case you didn't realize, this is a bad strategy. If you have pronunciation differences, you should absolutely not speak more quietly. It will make it even more difficult for people to understand you. So again, look at your volume. Is your volume enough that people can hear the sounds that you're actually producing in order to be able to understand the word? Beyond that, are you using the right grammatical structure? Are you using words that are expected for that sentence or for that context? Or are you using unexpected words, overly formal words that people don't expect, or really strange words that we don't usually use in American English in conversational speech? There are lots of things that can go wrong aside from pronunciation. So I have two thoughts in closing. One is that if somebody asks you to repeat yourself, don't immediately assume that you have a huge problem with your pronunciation. Again, it could just be one of those random things that people didn't hear you because of background noise or your volume or some other reason, like they weren't paying close enough attention. It might not have anything to do with you. So don't get down on yourself about your pronunciation skills and think that you're doomed to have to repeat yourself for eternity. It may just be one of those random one-off things that happens even to native speakers. However, if you do find that you are having significant difficulty being understood, if you find that you regularly have to repeat yourself, if this happens to you over and over again and it's getting to the point that it's frustrating for you, there are things that you can look into to work on your American English in order to be understood more easily the first time you speak. Now, one of those things is pronunciation, and that definitely is a factor for many non-native speakers, but I will caution you and say that some people speak English with a non-native accent, even a very strong non-native accent, and have no difficulties being understood. So sometimes it's not always your pronunciation that needs to be worked on. Sometimes it's other aspects of your communication. Again, it could be vocabulary, could be grammar, could be your speaking style, could be stress. There are lots of other things that go into being understood in American English beyond the pronunciation of the individual sounds. So get feedback from the people in your environment. Try to figure out why it is that they didn't understand you. Try to collect some data, collect some evidence, get some information that can help guide you as you move forward in how you need to focus, where you need to focus your energy in order to make progress so that you can communicate more efficiently in American English. If you enjoyed this video and you feel that you learned something valuable about American English communication, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you see all of our new content right as we publish it. I also invite you to comment below the video. Let me know what you liked, what confused you, what questions you have. This will help guide me as I create new content in the future to meet your needs. You can also visit us at Englishin.com, where we have tons of coursework for both people who are learning American English and coaches who are teaching American English to their students. You'll find information on both one-on-one training and self-study courses. Thank you so much for learning with us at Englishin, and happy practicing.